All right. Looks like we are live. Let me just grab my screen here. All right, we got some people jumping on. Let me just grab my screen. Okay, cool. All right, let me just grab this link and post it on our Twitter, and then we'll get going here. Are live. Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, actually. NFT trading. Okay. All right. Where's the chat button here? Where's the chat? Here it is. Chaitail, how's it going? Am I saying it right? Just let me know if I'm pronouncing it right. Good. Doing good, man. Doing good. We have Menace on the Discord here showing us what he's drinking. 75% drunk. Cool. Yeah, we have people from all over the world jumping on as well. So that's pretty cool to see. Let me know if you guys can see my screen okay. I actually see it on YouTube, so it should be fine. Yeah, Denise, let's buck and go. Excusi, let's go. All right, cool. So you guys know I had some pretty good profits yesterday. Let's go to OpenSea. I had sold like 9 toxic skulls. Let's go over to Coinbase. Is my audio okay? Can you guys hear me okay? Space Boo, yeah. Let's go, Space Boo, yeah. So I got some more Space Boos. I got 2 more Space Boos here. So the Loomies I still have. Loomies are doing pretty good. I have one in another wallet. Sushi Cats starting to jump. So this one I bought it at, you can see 0.02525, etc. Now it's at 0.0. Let me see here. Sushi Cats is at 0.035. So what's that increase here? Let me see. I think I have like 3 or 4K in there. So 0.025 divided by 0.035 is 39%. Sorry, 29% increase. So that's a 29% increase from when I called it. So that's pretty good. I mean, it's not like 100%. I'm hoping for like 2x, 3x. You know, usually like when it 2x's, 3x's, that's when I'm looking at a possible exit sometime. Toxic Skulls, I exited at, I think, about 5x my money back. So that's really good. Let's take a look and see how much I sold these for since yesterday. Audio is good. Okay, cool. Yeah. No, I'm telling you too. I'm telling you, get back, Dame. I'm telling you, Space Blue is gonna be good. Yeah. Not financial advice. Do your own research, as always. Disclaimer, right? But I think Space Blue is going to do really well, just because of what I've personally seen in the NFT space. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit about that later today as well. Pretty much like I have categories when I trade. I have basically different types of categories of NFTs, and that's what you're going to learn today. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you guys about the A, B, C, D categories when I do trade NFTs. So the A category, this is like your top of the, like your Wagyu beef, right? This is like your unicorns, okay? This one right here, very hard to find, like very unique. And it's not like, it has a really strong marketing. It's got a big community and essentially like really good utility, like excellent utility. Okay. And then you have your basically your winners. And these are, I would say, everything except for like this, right? So, and then you have like, your flips. And these are something that are like, you know, something where it's just a strong momentum. And then like no utility, maybe like a meme. And these right here are basically, I want to actually do another category here. Let's do E, okay? Basically, these are what I like to call like right in the middle. So it's like the middle child, okay? And the middle child is something where you're kind of like moon or dust. Okay? You don't know, uncertainty, okay? And then you have E, which is your clear rugs. Clear rugs, basically like a cash grab, or it's something that attracts newbies. And it's just like, you know, this is your clear rugs. You want to stay clear away from your clear rugs. Okay, maybe even like degen in a way, right? Like Shaitel was mentioning, maybe a little bit degen. Yeah, M. Andrews, what time did this start? Just got on. I mean, it just started like 6 minutes ago, so you're right on time. Yeah. John says, got your food. There you go. We got some sushi last night. You know, in celebration of sushi cats, but not really. Just got some sushi. So these are the 4-5 categories that I would categorize my NFT trades in. How many of you guys, when you trade NFTs, how many of you guys actually have like some sort of like, you know, checklist? How many of you guys have that? Type in checklist if you guys have a checklist for NFTs that you're going to purchase, or if you just don't have any checklists, you're kind of like doing, you know, like degen trades like me sometimes, and you just like ape in. Type in ape in if you ape in. Type in checklist if you have a checklist. So let me know. Put it in the chat. Yeah, no, I'm not ignoring your space boo. I love space boosts. I mean, I have a whole bunch of these. I have like 23 now, right? So I'm going to keep acquiring more. I'm going to talk about space boosts here in a second as well, because space boosts, I want to actually, I'm seeing it dip, and I want to see how far it can dip, right? Before I saw this thing go down as low as like 0.04. We're actually going to pull up the charts here on IC tools, and we're going to use this tool here as well, so we can kind of gauge and understand and see what's going on in the marketplace in terms of like what's been bought, what's been sold, you know, things like that. Space is pretty much like all over the place right here, but basically like we're going to go over this as well. I'm going to explain to you guys how to utilize something like IC tools. I don't want to like, you know, here's the thing about these live streams. You're going to learn something new each and every single live stream. So I don't want to, and some of you guys may already know this, that's fine. Maybe you might find like a hidden gem, and maybe, you know, you take away one big takeaway out of each live stream. But my goal is to make sure that that you guys are learning something new each and every single time, each and every single live stream that we do. And as a buck NFT holder later on down the road, when we do launch, we're launching on Sunday, May 1st at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So basically that's when we're going to be launching our whitelist. We're going to be launching for our whitelist holders at 0.05 ETH, all the way up until the 3rd. So there's like 3 days for you to grab it. So Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Tuesday, we launch our public sale. And so basically you guys will be able to get our NFTs at 0.05 ETH, which is roughly like 150 bucks per NFT. And then our public sale happens on Tuesday. So that's when we're selling it at 300 bucks. So about like 0.1 ETH, right? Depending on where ETH is at the time. So these are the 5 categories here, guys. Yeah, I see in the chat here, some of you guys have, you have like a list. Some of you don't have a list. This guy's like, please talk about space food. Don't worry, man. I'm talking about all of them. What do you think about Nansen? I'm not sure about these. Like, if you guys have like NFTs you want me to look at, go and put them into our Discord, and I'll mention it in our alpha chat. So, you know, right now our alpha chat is our general chat, but later on we're going to separate that and move it over to our actual alpha chat just for holders. All right. So unicorns. So unicorn is something that is very unique. I haven't shown you guys a unicorn yet. I will show you guys a unicorn here in a second, right? Winners. These are, I would say, these are like I would say um, a winner would be like, obviously, like Invisible Friends, right? Or something like Lazy Lions, or something like Loaded Lions, even in Chronos. There's a lot of winners out there, but there's only like very, very few. There's like maybe three I can think of that are absolute just unicorns. And then you have the flips. So the flips, these are something like Toxic Skulls Club. These are something that I would categorize something like that. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but I haven't seen any other news other than we're buying a metaverse land. I haven't seen anything else other than that. Like we're creating a community wallet. I what I like to see if this would change it from like a flip to a winner is I like to see some more utility with the NFT than just it being like a really cool artwork and we're buying some land in the metaverse, right? If I do see that, then I'll categorize it as a winner, but so far not yet. Something like Space Boo, I would consider it like a winner, but it's still in the phases of being developed, right? So anything can happen in between these phases. So from like winners to like middle child, there's a very clear like border where you can see, you know, when it moves from middle child to a winner. So we have to kind of do some research within these areas, because something like Space Boost, it could be a winner, but it's still very early to tell. So it's kind of like a middle child where it's moon or dust, but I'm kind of like leaning towards the winners, because that's where I see that the founder is on Twitch. You know, the founder's talking on Twitch. I saw that yesterday. The founder's on AMAs, on Twitter Spaces. The founder is like doing like literally just the project alone is doing a lot of things. I was looking into their Instagram, and they had a lot of cool artwork on Instagram, you know, all those things. And so that's why I would consider it a winner later on, if I can see those things actually start to move and start to progress. Okay, so let's talk about, so once again, the flips, something like Toxic Skulls Club. It's great to flip so that you can get some cash and utilize that for possible winners. Now, winners may take a long time as well. So the winners here, you know, maybe they may take like 2 to 3 months, sometimes 6 months, even a year, right? So some of these winners may take a long time. This one right here, the unicorns, these are obviously like 1 to like 5+ years, right? So these are the ones that basically, if you get a chance to hold one, you want to hold it for quite a while. These are your 1 to 5 years holds. These right here, look at it in terms of like in terms of stages. See what they've done in a month, and then if you decide to hold, then hold. If you decide that after a month the project hasn't really progressed, there's not a lot of you know, no one's coming into the community anymore, then that's something that you have to really take and consider if you want to sell or not. What we plan on doing with BuckBucks is we're not going to just launch it as a cash grab for like 1 or 2 months and be like, we're done. We've been developing this software 4 months ago, and we're still developing it, and we're adding more and more features to the software, as well as our NFT community. We're going to keep building our community. We have a second gen that we're launching soon. You guys are going to get a sneak peek to that as well. And also we're creating a utility where as you're holding BuckBucks NFTs, you're going to get airdrop the second gen for free, as long as you hold it within our criteria, which we're going to release next week. So basically, we're looking at building this thing long term. We're looking at building our 3rd generation and also 4th generation NFTs. And as that goes on, each generation of NFTs, we're going to have thousands and thousands of new people jump on board into our community. Now, what do you think is going to happen when we keep pushing marketing and more people into our community? Then obviously, and these are like legit people. These are not like 50,000 fluff people, right? I want to bring in like 1,000, 2,000, like really alpha players into our group, so that we can make our community a lot stronger, making these calls. Because I'm also investing in these calls. Like we've had some calls in our group yesterday. I literally put in like, I think like just yesterday alone, maybe like $5,000 from the two calls that we had yesterday. Oh, actually $6,000 in the two calls that we had yesterday. So I want to make sure that we have really, really good people in our group and not just a whole bunch of like shillers from like, I want to shill my cash grab project and my clear rug project. We want to make sure that we have some really awesome alpha plays. So that's why, when you're looking at an NFT, you want to see what they're developing, who's behind the project. Are they, it's not as important, but are they doxing themselves? Is it legit? Like, what's their experience? What have they done in the past? Things like that. So that's something that I look forward to. So let's go into middle child, moon or dust. These are things that I really don't know if they're going to go up or if they're going to go down. And it's kind of like a gamble, but it's like a calculated gamble. It's not just throwing $100 into each and every single NFT project that I see. These middle childs, these are moons or dust, meaning something like Sushi Cats. I don't know the developers. I haven't seen like any of the videos or anything like that. I don't know too much about this, but from the roadmap, I'm basing this off of like one thing. I'm basing this off of the roadmap. If they pull it off and they get 5,000 or 3,000 transactions in here, they start buying the floor and they start proceeding forward to the next steps of the roadmap, then that's when I can start to see that this project can move and it's got legs. And what's the best place to get it at? Then as close as you can to mint price, if you ask me, right? So I'd rather get like the NFTs that I buy at mint or close to mint price. Those are ones that I've personally seen I've had the most success with in my trades. Yeah, so we got a lot of questions here, guys. A lot of people on this call right now. So I'll get to your questions here in a second here as well. Yeah, you got it, Cavi. Thanks for the insights. You got it. Yeah, one day you should add a bidding bot. Yeah, we're gonna talk about all those things. Like, I'm also gonna be talking later on about tokens as well. Like, I trade a lot of tokens myself. Not just NFTs, but I also trade tokens as well. Lots and lots of tokens. One token was Parma token, and I sent that to my group literally 1 hour after it launched, and I got in at $2,800. That thing went all the way up to 145,000. And so a lot of my people in my group, in my previous group, the mastermind that I'm in, they made a lot of money on that, right? So we're also going to be doing a lot of things like that as well. So hope you guys are excited about this. I mean, guys, type in excited in the box if you guys are like super pumped about what we're doing here, right? Yeah. Quickly thought I'd jump in while on my date. Yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, Menace? How's it going? Much love. Tell hi to your wife, and hopefully she doesn't get as mad that you're on a date and watching a NFT live stream. Yeah. Cool. Did you buy a Metacard? Not yet. I'm going to though. Yeah, 500 alpha players, absolutely better than 50,000 noobs. Absolutely. Like, I would rather have. I have groups where it's just like 5 of us, but we're whales, right? And it's literally like I think it's more than 5, but we're whales. And we literally, when we go into a project, we put in a lot of money into it. And so I'd rather have that than like 50,000 people that are just talking about nonsense and fluff. Like, we want to have real alpha players in our group. And that's kind of the benefit of having a very vetted out group. So that's why you're not seeing, 50,000 people in our Discord, but you're seeing legitimate, like, we go out and we find people to jump in and join our group. So that's what we're doing right now. Quality over quantity is my take on this. Yeah, I mean, the thing about toxic souls, I do like it, but the thing is, like, I personally don't see, I don't see like further developments right now. Maybe there is. I may be wrong. If you guys can like feed me some information, other than what I've seen in their announcements and things like that. But in my personal opinion, what I've seen with other NFTs, and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything else for you guys as well. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat you guys and tell you guys like, because that's when we lose money, right? But I won't sugarcoat it and tell you that this is like a clear absolute winner to the moon, diamond hands. I'm going to tell you exactly from my personal opinion, and none of this is financial advice. This could go to 2 ETH, to 1 ETH, to 5 ETH, to 10 ETH. It could. I may not see what they're doing in the marketing, but from what I'm seeing from afar as an NFT trader, as like literally like an investor in these projects, What I'm looking at is I'm looking at these other factors as well. So all I see is that they bought metaverse land. They have really, really good artwork. They have a lot of volume. So that means they have good marketing, but they need a lot more than that to keep people wanting to stay. And just like, there's going to be flippers in here, guys. People are going to sell, you know, if they don't see anything, a reason to hold, they're literally in here just to sell. They're literally in here to make money. Like, why would anyone buy a $2,000 NFT to like, because of the utility, if it helps them make more money, right? But I think the purpose for NFTs here, guys, I mean, let's face it, is to make money. You guys are in this chat to make money, right? We're not in it to invest because we feel good about something. Like that too, but we're also in here to make money, and that's the bottom line. You guys are in here to improve your lives. You guys are in here to make something better for yourselves. And the vehicle that will take you there are these NFTs. But you also have to be smart. You got to be smart about it and think about where is this going? Where have I seen other projects? Like, for example, I'll give you one right now. I bought these superlative apes. I think it's in the same wallet here. Let me see. I bought superlative apes. Those things had like really amazing artwork. They had even with utility after the fact, but still you have to also look at what the market is doing, what they're selling, what they're buying. So superlative apes, if I remember right, it was like, let me see. I have it in this wallet here. Let me open it up for you guys. Let me show you what this looks like. Right. So no matter what, you have to be smart and look at the market. If it's going down and you're saying diamond hand, and you may lose money, just that's the facts. So I bought this 4 months ago, and I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 1,300. So 1,337 divided by 5 is 267. So I bought these at $267. It's still worth money now. I mean, it's still worth, like, the floor is at, let's take a look here. The floor is at 0.06. So that's 100. Oh, actually, I lost money. So I've sold a bunch of them already, but I've lost money. And this thing keeps going down and down and down. This is, I would say it was a winner project in the very beginning. Like, it did really well. It went as high as, like, if I remember right, I sold one for like half an ETH. It was like a rare one. But if I remember right, I think this went as high as, like, I'm going to say, like, I'm going to guess here, but just like around 0.5 ETH or like 0.4 ETH, something like that. I remember each one of my superlatives were like around $1,200, $1,400, something like that. And now they were only worth $100, right? So this is why you got to pay attention to these things. You got to pay attention to what's happening on the floor price. You got to pay attention to what's happening to your money. Because if you're not, and you're just diamond handing, you can get wrecked. And NFTs are getting harder and harder these days. It's not getting easier. It's not like we're going to find another Bored Ape. We could, but it's less likely now than it was before. Before, Bored Apes were like a few $100. Now they're $300,000 or more. So the thing is, you just have to be very careful, and you got to see what the project is doing, what the community is doing right now. So that's how you make money in this game. You make money just by not simply diamond handing, but you make money on opportunities that arise and come as you go through this journey. Okay, so let's talk about. Let me see. Let me see some other. Yeah. So a lot of you guys are excited. Yeah, some of you guys. So Andrew says unicorns is Sushi Cats fam. I would say Sushi Cats fam. I'm not 100% for certainty. And like I said, I'm not saying this because I'm a big bull on a single project or anything like that. I'm saying this simply because I don't know yet. If I saw more marketing and if I saw more like things from the community, I'm constantly in the Discord as well. So if I go into the Discord right here, I'm literally in the Discord, and I go into like Toxic Skulls, right? So let's take a look at Toxic Skulls. First thing I do is I go to announcements, and then I go to roadmap. Like, next thing I do is roadmap. Okay, so collaborations, great. So they're bringing in more people into the thing. So it could increase the floor price of that, right? Roadmap, suggestions. Okay, great. Let's see, events. So they're doing a real life event in Miami. That's great. Merchandise, great. metaverse, great. Charity, and then like that's all I'm seeing, right? So I'm seeing charity, metaverse, merch, and events. Like, what else can they do to help with the utility side? It was a really funny, like skit, like video that I saw, and the guy was like, oh yeah, but I like your artwork, and then he talks to himself. He's like, but what about the utility? And it's really funny. Like a lot of times people look at the utility as well, like not just the artwork. Like the artwork is fire on TSC, but you also want to look at the utility as well, and what makes people hold, what makes people excited for the next thing, what makes people want to contribute to the project and help it grow, right? Because they believe in it. They believe in it because it's making them money. That's the first part. They believe in it because it's making them money. And if they see that it's going to make them money even more in the future, and they see that a project has more legs in the future, and that, let's say, their Genesis collection could be worth a lot more as it's becoming more and more scarce. So that's something to look forward to, right? So something like Sushi Cat. So let's go to Sushi Cat right here. So Sushi Cat, I'm looking into their white paper. I see they have a white paper here. We can open that up, and basically this is what it looks like. Okay. Basically, like you can see, like you can read it, right? And I'm super bullish on this part right here on the trading volume, and also like by NFT staking right here. So the whole thing about staking, like when you integrate staking into an NFT, that's just amazing. I've seen a lot of projects that have integrated staking, and basically like it's done really, really well for the project, right? So some of the keywords that I'm looking for, like kind of like a checklist of things that I'm looking for. Let me give you guys a checklist, right? So let's go back here. So if you can see any of these things in an NFT project, that could mean like really, really good potential in the future. So the number one thing that I'm looking for is like if they're coming out with like a token, right? Number two, if they're like coming out with like staking. Number three, if they have like a DAO, but this doesn't really matter. It's just a voting thing, whatever. Number four, like a community wallet. Number five, if they're like buying back any of their NFTs. Number six, if they have basically like a second collection coming out, right? Number seven, continual marketing. What are they doing in continual marketing? Number eight, if they have some sort of like a white paper or like a roadmap. And of course, this is literally like going through 1 through 7. Number 9, basically another thing I'm looking at is what type of volume. So obviously like this is actually number 1. If I were to do all this, this is like the precursor. So I would say like precursor is like number 1 is like volume. Number 2 is like the marketing. Number 3 is like community. And you guys have seen this in the previous videos. But on top of this, like before I even look at any of this, I'm looking at volume, marketing, community, and all these things, right? So now I'm looking into the other things. So I would say secondary NFT checklist. So this is my secondary NFT checklist, and this is my primary NFT checklist. Okay. So this is my primary checklist. First, I'm looking for volume, marketing, community, and then the next thing I'm looking at is all these things. Do they have a token coming out? Do they have staking? Do they have a DAO? Do they have a community wallet, buying back, second collection, community marketing roadmap? And then I'm going into basically like researching the team, the owner. Number 10. Let's see, what's another thing that I am looking for? Any other like special utility. So like these things right here, this is kind of like my checklist right here. If I see that they have some, like, also another thing is like maybe like lastly is like metaverse, right? Oh, we're buying land in the metaverse. Let me tell you this, guys. I bought an NFT called San Vegas Casinos. Right, let's go over San Vegas. I wonder how much they are right now. And And basically, San Vegas Casino Club, I don't even know if they're on here anymore. I sold all of them. But San Vegas, no, that's not it. I think they got kicked out of OpenSea. But anyway, I bought, it's on LooksRare. Let me go to LooksRare. So I bought these NFTs called San Vegas. Okay. Not sure which one. I think it's this one. Okay, these things. And they got kicked out of OpenSea. But it did really well in the very beginning. Like I don't remember how much I minted them, but I made profit on all of them. I bought 15 of them at mint and it did really well. So the thing about these guys, they were going to build a casino in the metaverse. And what happened was they had some legal troubles with the state of Texas, where they're from. And the state of Texas was like, nope, 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 you're not doing it. And they basically got all this FUD news, and then OpenSea shut them down because they had a cease and desist from the state of Texas and they couldn't do business anymore, right? They couldn't open their blockchain casino. So I was betting on it. I was like, you know, no pun intended, but I was betting on it. And I was really like hyped about the fact that this casino could open up, because what would happen is 50% of the profits, they were saying, that would go to distributed amongst the casino members, the NFT holders. So I had 15 of them. So I calculated I would have gotten like 0.137% or something like that, right, out of the proceeds. So it was really great. However, the whole thing, you know, it didn't work out. So the whole thing about metaverse, like I haven't really seen, like, unless you guys have seen something that I haven't seen yet, you know, there's so much information out there, but like I haven't seen a project do well because of a metaverse land that they bought. If you guys tell me there is, then you know, I may be wrong. I could be 100% wrong, but I haven't seen a single project because of they bought a metaverse that they are like winning, and they're getting a lot of people because they have land in the metaverse. I haven't seen that. What I have seen projects win is when they start introducing a token, when they start doing staking, when they have like a second collection and they're continuously marketing, and they have like a really strong, like literally almost all of this right here. These are kind of the checklist that I see. If a single project has all of these, that's amazing. Like I would actually want to do some more research and look at it and see if it's like a unicorn, right? If a single project is doing all of these. But some projects may just be doing, like, for example, staking, which is fine. That's a good checklist for me. Some projects are buying back the collections, you know, some like they're putting more money into it. Some projects they're continually marketing. They have white paper, roadmap, you know, all these things. So yeah, wow, we have so many questions in here. I may go back into the questions here in a second, but this is kind of like my checklist here, guys. How many of you guys got some value today? Type in value in the chat box. You got some value from just the checklist alone, right? So that's kind of the reason why I'm making the decisions based on what I'm doing right now. Okay. So any thoughts on Bazooki? Floor hasn't moved, but I saw that they're looking to release. Yeah, that's one thing right there, Leslie, is the banana token. So once again, the token, the staking, you know, that's what I'm waiting for. And tokenomics is very difficult. Like you have to have a strong backing for it. You got to have a lot of people like dump a lot of money initially, so you can raise the price of the token, and they're holding as well, right? But tokenomics is really, really difficult. And they also have to put in a lot of money in liquidity as well. So something like Bazooki is kind of like a middle child. It's a middle child, but potentially could be a winner in the future. So something like this, I'm just holding. It's house money from the beginning. All of this was house money for me. So I'm holding something like Bazooki, and I'm not touching it because I do see that they do have some cool things in their work. Maybe 2 to 3 months later, if it blows up, great. I'm holding 55 of them, right? But if let's say in the next few months it doesn't do anything, then whatever 55 of those were times, I don't know how much I paid for it, but I think let me see how much they're worth right now. But something like this, 333 collection, I believe I bought it, not 5.4. I think I bought it like 0.03 or 0.02, something like that. So actually, let's go into my wallet here and see. So I think I bought it. Let's clear this. Okay, so I bought these at 0.03, right? 0.03, 0.04. And these cost me, let's see. Bought it off the floor. This one right here. Oh, this one right here, actually. Yep. So I bought a whole bunch off the floor. You can see I basically swept the floor here. And it cost me $1,200 for a total of, I believe this was 10. About, could be more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So I bought $1,200 worth. So that's about $120. Now they're worth, let me see what they're worth. They're worth $160. So I bought these 120 bucks. Now they're $40 more. So $120 multiplied by 55 times 55 is about 6 grand. So I put in about 6 grand into this. This is a moon or dust for me. Like in the next few months, if it goes up, you know, to a lot of money, then that's my risk there was 6,000. This is house money, of course, from my other projects as well. So if it goes down, like if it goes down half, then I could be down like 3 grand, right? So it's kind of like I'm betting that the developers and the team would continually develop this. But I just like some of these projects, I invest in based on my gut feeling and based on like the checklist that I have here, right? And if it's a cheaper NFT where I can get a whole bunch and they're continually doing the marketing, this part right here, number 7, if they're continually doing marketing, getting new eyes into the project, getting more people buying the floor, then that's something that I'd like. And I'm going to continue to hold from that moment forward. So yeah, let's go into some questions here. We have a lot of questions coming in. Yeah, so any projects that you guys want to look at, put it into the Discord. I'm not going to look into them right here. I have a set of projects that I want to look at right here, but if you do have some, just put it into the Discord and I'll take a look at it. We may continue to look at this in the next live stream. Wow, John's brother brought 18 meta cards. Yeah, I want to look into those meta cards right here. I mean, I've got like, you know, a few ETH laying around, so I'm looking at picking up a few things as well. Did you buy unemployables on the previous stream? Yeah, so I did buy unemployables. I minted those. So unemployables, I minted a whole bunch of those. Let me see here. Unemployables. I minted a whole bunch of these a while back. Let me see when. I want to see how much I minted these for, actually. Jeez, so many transactions. Okay, oh. Unemployables. I know I minted them somewhere. I'll figure it out. But I think I minted them for like 75 bucks. The crazy thing is, these things are worth like crazy amounts of money. I think it went up to like half an ETH, right? Oh, 0.39. I sold at 0.225. 0.2 and 0.25. That's when I sold. But now these things are crazy. These things are going nuts. And that's because of what they're building. They're building like something cool with Web3. These are worth 1,100 bucks. So I had purchased these at, I think I sold it for 0.2, 600 bucks. I sold it for 600 bucks each one. And I bought them for 75 bucks. So this is really cool. Like something like this. I made this call on my other group. This was before I started doing alphas on the Buck group, but I made this call to my other group and it minted out within like hours. And yeah, so I was really happy about this purchase here. Okay, let me go into some questions here. Leslie says, I think I may list my rare toxic skull like 2.5 and see if it sells. Yeah, absolutely. If it's currently listed at 3, do you get any bites in your more rare ones? So I haven't sold any of my rare ones yet. So I still have them up for sale. So let's go into my collection here. And you see the ones that I did sell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the 11 that I did sell, those sold for like closer to floor price. These are more of the rarer traits. And so that's why I have them listed at these price points here, like 0.64, 0.7, 7, 8, 3 ETH, 9, 8, 2. So the ones that I want to pay attention to are these two right here, because these are the more rare traits. And I want to see if there are any offers that are coming through for these traits here. Okay, so I had an offer here for 0.71 ETH, so that's $2,000. I mean, 0.7 ETH. I mean, it's not like, so here's my thought process on this. If I were to sell these are kind of like, I bought these at, I don't know, Mint. So I bought this 9 days ago at Mint, and at Mint it was $250. So I'm not in a rush to sell it. I could sell it for $2,000 right now, and I can take up on this offer right here. I'm not in a rush. Now, here's my mentality, my thought process on the two that I do have. The two that I do have, these are the ones where if I do sell all of my toxics, the two that I do have, I want to keep for later on if it moons or dusts, right? Because if I do sell the rest of them that I have here at these prices or floor prices, then if it does go to the moon, like 2 to 3 to 10 ETH, I still have my two rare ones. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking into the price action pretty much like every so often, like at least once a day, and see where the floor is at. And if the floor is creeping up and so all of a sudden, like they did something crazy and they had like crazy marketing coming in and they, someone swept the floor, whale swept the floor, and now the new floor is like 1 ETH, then obviously what I'm going to start to do is I'm going to start to delist these two and wait and see what happens after that 1 ETH floor. Because is that 1 ETH floor going to go to 2 ETH to 3 ETH? Because if it does, these are going to sell pretty quickly, right? And I won't have any more. So what I'm doing here is that these are kind of like my my backup. Like for example, I still hold one apocalyptic ape just because like I've already made my profits on them. This one here is just kind of like my trophy. If this thing does shoot up to like, who knows, maybe Bored Ape Yacht Club, who knows what could happen. I'm still holding at least one or two. And so the one or two that I do hold are going to be the rare ones right here. But every single one of these here, I'm looking at taking a profit from. Okay. Hopefully that makes some sense right there. Hopefully it helps you prepare your strategies a little bit better as you're doing these trades. Because if you might be saying that, oh, I want to sell everything, it may not be a good idea later on. If you don't need to sell it, like if you can afford to take this as a loss, like these two at a loss later on, then I'm okay with that. I'm okay with taking these two and saying, okay, I'm thinking of taking a loss on these in future anyway. But if this thing does go to the moon, I still have a position in this. Yeah, absolutely. So these are going to be called inside the Buck group. So for holders, once again, it's going to be in the alpha group when we do open up the minting process for holders. So all of those calls that you're seeing right now is going to be moved over to our alpha holders group. But right now it's in the general chat for everyone to see, because I want to give you guys a preview of what's going to happen as you're a Buck holder in the future. And guys, I want to give you guys some exciting stuff, right? I mean, the pixels that we have are pretty cute and all, but like we have some like it's the NFT images and the graphic is going to increase over time. So if you can see where I'm going with this, first we're going with pixelated NFTs with the Bucks. Our secondary ones are going to be the doodles, kind of like sort of like Space Blue, not really, more like Three Landers and like doodles. So that's going to be our second generation NFTs. The third one is going to be more like the Bored Ape Yacht Club type art, or something like even the Toxic Skulls. And then the next one is going to be the third one, is going to be the animated, so the 3D version, and then the fourth one is going to be the animated version. So there's also an in between that we're still talking about in discussion with our team, where we would do another generation prior to that as well. But we're going to see. But each and every single one of those launches, we do plan on putting in heavy amounts of marketing budget into these launches so that we're going to get more and more people, more and more eyes into our Buck NFTs. And then eventually more eyes also into our first generation NFTs, because the ones that you guys are going to be holding, the pixelated ones, those we plan on making those worth the most, because those are like the ones that were the first ones, the first Bucks. Then we have Buck Generation 2, Buck Generation 3, Buck Generation 4, and each generation that will come will also include more people to see our project, more marketing, more eyes. We come from a background of Facebook ads. I've literally spent millions of dollars in Facebook ads of my own money into Facebook ads, Google ads as well. And so we know how to market on Facebook and Google ads and all these other platforms as well. So we're going to be doing a lot of that. My co-founder and I, we come from a background of doing multi-millions of dollars online in the digital space. So like digital marketing, webinars, email marketing. So we have a lot of experience in marketing on that side. We actually just started going into this space, into the NFT space, because this is where everything is headed right now. And so if you guys want to know who we are, you can Google my name, Teovanio, and you can see exactly what I've done in the past with e-commerce, right? So we've done a lot of things in this space. And so that's where we're coming from. We're not going to stop marketing the project. We're going to continue to market the project for many, many years to come. And you guys are going to see, as Buck holders, you guys are going to see that potentially the project, hopefully, and even the floor price of the Bucks, not financial advice or anything. And I don't know what could happen, but we're anticipating that to continually go up as we bring in more marketing into this. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, hit us up. We're also going to be doing a lot of cool things inside the project as well. I may just do a live stream, maybe like on Saturday, to tell you guys exactly what's happening in our project, like next Saturday, exactly what's happening, our roadmap, our marketing plans, our marketing budgets for each of those plans. I'm going to lay it all out for you guys next Saturday on another live stream. But we do plan on doing a lot of things for this community. So just let you guys know, it's not like marketing budget's going to stop right there. We're going to keep going. If you guys see what we've already done, we've already spent a lot of our money into the development of the software, and it is not cheap. If you guys know how much it costs to develop VanyoSoft, this thing is not cheap, right? To do all this, to do token research right here, to do the wallet research right here, this thing was not cheap. Like, we spent a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of developers to build this thing out. And we're going to be integrating charts in the near future. Like, I would say maybe a month out, we're going to be integrating charts into our NFTs, kind of like IC tools, where you can click on something and then basically you can see the buy pressure and the sell pressure for each one of those in real time. So it's going to be really, really cool, guys. A lot of things happening in our community, and we're just starting to get to people. And so people are just starting to see us right now. They're just starting to see what we're doing, and they're catching on. Like, I had a friend who's like, I won't even tell you what he said. He's a whale, but I won't even tell you what he said. He's a Bored Ape. And yeah, so a lot of cool things happening right now. Okay, let's go into some questions here as we're almost ending here. Yeah, absolutely. I like your streams, Teo. Yeah, no worries, man. I mean, like, we all learn from somewhere, right? BF Mert. 80s retro arcade pixel art would be cool. Yeah, so that's where we're starting from right now, is the 80s arcade pixel art. Yeah, I know. I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like, the pixel arts look cool, but like you're saying that, it may look like rug pull. There was a project that went to like multiple ETH, and they were all pixelated, and it was like the most ugliest thing I've seen. But they had like amazing utility, right? And I watched this thing go up and down. Like, people were like buying a crap ton of these at ridiculous amounts of money. Andrew says, do we put the project that we want you to look at in the shill coop? Yeah, absolutely. Put it in the shill coop, Andrew, and we'll take a look at it. And I'll go and do another live stream and go over it as well. Have you joined Gary V's raffle? For some safety reasons, I'm waiting. It should be safe though. No, I haven't. I haven't really taken a look at that yet. How do you compare to Nansen? I'm not sure about that one. I'll take a look into that. there's like, guys, there's so many projects out there. It's like insane. Like hundreds of projects coming out each day, right? Literally, there's also a lot of rug pull projects coming out as well. There's so many of them coming out. It's pretty crazy. Okay. So there's so many questions here. I'll go into it in detail, but let's go into like, what am I going to do now? So I've got a few ETH laying around, right? Maybe like $6,000 or $7,000 worth of ETH so far that I want to put into a project. Right now, I'm looking into Lumi heads. This is the one that I'm looking at right now. I'm not sure what's happening with OpenSea right now. Let's refresh this. Sushi Cats, and let's take a look at Bazooki here. Yeah, looks like OpenSea is down or something. Let me see. Okay. Can you guys check OpenSea for me? See if it's up or down. Not sure if it's me or if it's OpenSea. I think it might be OpenSea. Yeah, it might be OpenSea, to be honest. Like, OpenSea's been very ruggy lately. Let's refresh that again. Let's try it one more time. Yeah, I think OpenSea might be down. But basically, I'm looking at a project called Lumi Heads, and they just finished their mint, and I see the price action is going up, and so that's really good. Let's take a look at maybe in here on looks rare. Lumi Heads. Maybe it's like, yeah, it's down for you guys as well. Okay, OpenSea not loading. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's that Infura what happened yesterday. I think it might be happening today as well. That sucks. But basically, like, what I'm doing is I'm looking at Lumi heads. And the reason why is because it just finished. So here's my thought process on a token, an NFT token like Lumi heads, right? Lumi heads. So number one, it just finished minting, and pre-reveal price is at I think it was 0.15, if I remember right. No, 0.15, if I remember right. So the pre-reveal mint price is at 0.15. Okay. Number two, price has been fluctuating around like the 0.12 range. And if you guys remember yesterday, I was mentioning, and even the days before, I was mentioning, like, I'm looking like 0.12 is like right where it could be really good, right? And number three. So Oliver asks, is this going to be every Saturday? So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to be doing a live stream every single day at 12 p.m. roughly. The times may change, but I'm going to be doing one every single day at 12 p.m. All the way up until we launch. And then after we launch, I'm going to be doing these streams just for our holders. So I'm not going to be doing this for just the general public. What you're going to be getting is for just a holder. So if you guys want to join in on more of these live streams, it's only going to be for Buck holders. So the price has been fluctuating around like 0.12-ish. Let's go into IC tools, see if we can actually pull this up. Okay, so Lumi heads. Okay, there it is. Okay, so this is Lumi heads right here. Let me refresh that, make sure the chart's all good. Okay, I think honestly, like, we're seeing some slowdowns in the OpenSea server here. Yeah. But what I'm looking for, the next thing is I'm looking for like a good entry, because it's fully minted out already. Fully minted out. And number four, I'm watching the hourly, right? The hourly action on activity. Okay, so this is the one thing I can't show you right now because OpenSea is rugging right now. But what I can explain to you is this is what I'm doing. I'm watching the hourly activity. Now, before this webinar started, maybe 2 hours ago, I was watching that the floor price, right? Example, floor price was 0.17 around 2 hours ago. Now, okay, now floor is 0.15. So obviously it's going down. Okay. Old me would have said, okay, well, oh man, it's gone up since 0.12, right? Old me would have said, oh, it's gone up since 0.12. Let me get it at 0.17 or 0.15. Old me would have said that. New me would have been what is now what I'm doing is I'm waiting to see where it kind of stabilizes. So it may go down to like, let's say it does this, right? It does 0.14, 0.13, 0.12, 0.11 after like hours go by. Okay. It may do something like this. What the good entry point where I want to get in is where I see that it goes from like 0.11, 0.15, 0.1, oh, sorry, 0.1115, 0.12, 0.125. And this is like where my entry would be. Because if I'm seeing after like 3 progressions over, let's say within a 15-minute, 30-minute period, and it starts to do something like this, then that's when I kind of want to get in. It's kind of like what I kind of showed you guys, Whiteboard Fox, kind of what I showed you guys a few days ago, where if the chart is doing something like this, right, I want to exit right here. And this is where I want to enter. Okay. People usually are like, I want to exit right here and I want to enter right here. How many times can you actually time this? It's very difficult to time this right here. What I want to do is I want to exit as it's starting to dip and I see the trends. So you got to be able to see the trends. Okay. And if it's trending upward here as well, I want to see those trends. Now, what makes it trend? So let's take a look. So the trends that I'm looking for are the following, right? Number one, is there any catalyst to price movement? Okay. I would check Discord. I would check Twitter. Okay. Number two, activity levels on the hourly or the minutes. Okay. If I'm seeing that there's a crap ton of activity just happening just right away, then this is kind of like where I want to look into a possible entry somewhere around here. If I'm seeing this, right? So here's one thing. If I'm seeing this and basically like activity levels are starting to go down, it's starting to dip, and we're starting to see like one transaction every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, every 20 minutes, every hour, that's when I can see that there's going to be a lot more sell pressure, as we've seen in Livestream number 1, which I mentioned. When you start to see that, people get anxious and they want to sell. They don't want to hold anymore. They just want to flip it. They want to make their money back. They want to sell at the top. People are always trying to sell at the top. They're trying to time themselves and try to sell at the top, right? So for some people, they might think that this is the top. They're like, oh yeah, this is the top. I'm going to sell because it was like 0.1. Now it's like, 0.3. This is the top right here. It's definitely going to go down. Some people may think this is the top. This is why I never sell at the top. I'm always selling as it's starting to dip down right here. You guys understand now? Because this thing might go up to 0.5. Okay. This is what happened to one of my friends. I mean, he sold at the top. I mean, I think he does this quite often, but it's fine. But when I see the activity levels are still going up, I'm not going to make a guess what the top is. I'm going to take a guess based on activity levels. So if the activity level is starting to look like hourly and 5-minute, 10-minute type activity level, that's when I can start to see that this is trending downwards and there's going to be a lot more sell pressure. So this increases the sell pressure right here. Okay. When it increases sell pressure, it's going to start to trend downwards. People are going to start to sell at lower floors because they're trying to get out as well. They start to see that it's starting to get ugly and they want to get out as fast as possible. So they're selling it at the floor price and even below floor price. Oh, OpenSea is working for you? Okay. All right, good. So this is why when I'm trying to enter, when this thing is starting to trend back up again. I want to enter right here. I don't want to enter at the bottom because the bottom can still keep going down, right? This is the problem where people are catching a falling knife. They enter at the bottom where they think it's going to be the dip, but it keeps going. The dip keeps dipping, right? You want to enter when it starts to, and I've trained my other people in the other Discord on this. We have 17, 18 videos of these 2 hours each where I've trained them on charts and what I'm looking for in these trends. And I have a higher percent win rate when I start doing these things. If I sell right here, or if I buy right here, it may go down even more. I'm looking for that upward trajectory right here. I'm looking for this. If I don't see this, I'm not buying it. I could see it could possibly go down even more, right? If I don't see this, I'm going to tell myself this is going to go down even more. It's possible that it could go down even more. But if I see this and I'm right in the sweet spot right here, then that's when I enter. And then I exit as it starts to dip down again. Could it dip down like right here? Like, could it do this? What we're seeing right here? Absolutely. It could absolutely do that. And then I'm going to sell again, right? But I want to enter at a good point where I know that there's actually like potential for it to go up versus it's just nothing but down. Okay, so something like Lumi heads, I'm looking at this. I'm saying, okay, where do I want to enter? Okay, so let's take a look at this right here, this chart. Let's go to the 1 hour. So this is literally play by play 1 hour. Okay, so we can see this is 12 o'clock. This is 1 p.m. right here. We can see what the activity are in the sales volume. So like 1.6, 1.5, 1.6, 1.6, 1.5. Let's take a look at the 4 hours. What happened in the past 4 hours? So in the past 4 hours, people were like 1.6, 1.5. And then right here was like 1.7, 1.9. So this thing went from like this was just 4 hours ago, right? This was like 9 a.m. today. 9 a.m. went from 0.13 all the way to 0.17. You could have done a nice flip right here. You could have. But then it started to go back down again, 0.15. It kind of stabilized like right around this range right here, 0.15. And then I'm starting to see like it's starting to pick up a little bit, right? But now on top of looking at the charts here, I want to look at the activity here. If I'm seeing minutes, then that's a good sign. If I'm doing this and on the same page, I'm seeing 2 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 11, 12, 15. If I'm seeing 15 minutes, 17 minutes on the same transaction as a 2 minute, then I'm not going to buy it yet. And that's just, I don't know if this is like for me, but I don't know if it's like, this is kind of like what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for if this thing has like seconds and minutes. If I'm seeing minute, that's when I'm going to have a decision to jump in. But if I'm seeing that it's still slowed down, there's like 17 minutes here in between 2 minutes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In the last 10 transactions, if we have a big gap from 17 minutes to 2 minutes, this is kind of what I'm looking for. That's probably the best way to explain it. If there's this big gap, there's still going to be sell pressure because people are going to they're going to get anxious and they're going to look at the floor. They're going to look at their 10 or 20 Lumis. They're going to be like, okay, I don't know if I want to sell or not. I think I want to sell. Let me sell. And that's going to lower the price of the floor. And as they're selling and as you want to get in, that's when I start sweeping up the floor prices and get them at a lot cheaper. Okay, does that make sense? So if I'm seeing like seconds, and all 10 transactions have been within seconds with each other, then that's when it's like looking like it's starting to go curl back up again. Like that's where it's in this range right here. Okay, but if it's not doing that, and I'm seeing that this has like a potential to go down from my experience, then I'm gonna wait until this thing could possibly go down a little bit more because we're still in pre-reveal. The scary part is what happens after pre-reveal, right? It's what happens when this thing is revealed. So we need to find out when this thing is revealed. And that's when we can possibly see the floor price go dip even further post-reveal. But what's cool about this is that you don't know what you're going to get. So you're just like buying up the floor. You may get a rare, you may get whatever, right? You don't know what you're going to get. So when it comes to activity levels, I see this doing well, but also not as well as what I did see with Toxic Skulls, right? Toxic Skulls, I saw the floor price and the activity move much quicker than something like a Lumi. So in this case, Toxic Skulls has like before it was like seconds. Now there's a big gap in the past 10 transactions between 2 minutes and like an hour. So that's going to cause a lot of sell pressure right here, as we're seeing right now. That's why the floor price is 0.4, right? So this is kind of the stuff that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the and then also when they buy. So yesterday, it's like usually afternoon they start buying. So that's kind of like the trend. And if they do buy this up, it could go from 0.4 to back up to 0.5. But if it kind of slows down and it's not like as hypey as it was before, then that's when I'm going to be looking at selling. Same thing right here. If it's not as hypey as it was before, then once again, that's when I'm looking at selling. Post reveal is when we start to see the floor go down. That's pretty much like a lot of NFTs. Post reveal, people didn't get their rares and they're just selling it at floor or below floor just to get out. So, or depending on what the community is doing, there's 5,000 of these, 600 of them are available for sale. So it's not like as diamond hand as you thought it would be, right? In this case, the percentages, so let's go over here to 617 divided by 5,555, multiplied by 100. We have an 11% of people are actually selling, or 11% of items are actually on the floor. Let's take a look at Toxic Skulls here. See what the buy now is. So we have 1,000, we have 2,000 out of 10,000, so that's 20%. So double, there's more people wanting to sell this than there are people wanting to sell this. This has only 10%, 11% of people wanting to sell. This has 20% of people of these items that are listed for sale. So yeah, that's how I look at these projects, and that's how I determine whether or not I'm going to sell or if I'm going to buy. Okay, cool. What's special about Lumi heads? I don't know. I don't know, but what's special about it is the activity level. Like I saw a lot of activity happening here, and that's why I bought in, because I wanted to take part of just the trade. But I haven't looked into their, like, I don't know if there's a Discord. I think that Discord is private. I'm not able to get in. I did look into the project on Twitter. It looked pretty good on Twitter. They do have a Medium article here as well. But I don't see anything like, you know, once in that checklist as well. I'm looking at like, I don't care about like a comic book. I don't care about that. I don't care about clothing, whatever, right? I don't care about that. What I do care is about the other things that are coming. Like, here's another one. Another one is called Sketchy Ape Book Club, right? Sketchy Ape Book Club. Sketch. Here's another one right here. This one, once again, the utility was we're going to have a comic book. We're going to have some art, blah, blah, blah. I don't think people care for the art too much. I mean, yes, they do care for the art, but they care about how it's going to make them money. And if they see that people are just buying it just for the art, I don't think it's going to last very long. And this is one example right here. Yeah, we got some great art, and we're going to do a comic book and stories and all that. Like, it's the other utility that comes with it, right? It's a community. Like, who do you have in your community? What benefit does a holder of that NFT have when being in your community? Are they going to learn something new? Are they going to make some more money? Are they going to network with other people? Is it going to be a business transaction for them? Like, what on top of that, what other network do you get out of this, just from the art? And if people are just buying it for the art, then that's what could happen. Like, this price here was a lot higher before, and it's super cheap right now, right? So that's something that you have to look at. Like this one, I'm just looking at, I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm just looking at flipping this. This is something for me that I want to trade. I'm not looking at holding long-term diamond handing. Oh, Discord is open. So let's take a look. Let's open the Discord. So 5,000 online, 13,000 members. So that's a good number. Let's go ahead and verify access, blah, blah, blah. Here it is, complete, yada, yada, submit. So I have to verify here. Let me verify. Oh, it's the whole DMs thing. I don't like that. I don't like getting DMs. So I'll do this later. I'll open up my DMs and I'll do this later. But I just don't like the whole verify with DMs and whatnot. So that's what I'm looking for. But like I'm looking for like other utility. Like I'm looking for like a roadmap. I'm looking for what are they doing in the future? Do they have a alpha group? Do they have whatever it is, right? If they don't have that, then I'm just looking at flipping. I'm looking at flipping the art. That's my honest opinion on this. It's just I'm gonna take my money. I want to double it, triple it, and take my money and run. Okay. Any other questions here? What about an NFT that is revealed right away? So NFTs that are revealed right away, usually you don't have that same effect of like I'm gonna sell right away on the post reveal because it's already revealed. It's the excitement of pre-reveal that gets people hyped up, and also it gets people wanting to sell more, and also people like me wanting to buy more, so I could possibly get a rare or just see that where I'm entering is where I'm going to be exiting later at a higher price point. So those are kind of the things that I'm going through. Yeah. So any other questions, guys? Any other questions about this? Any other questions about anything you want to talk about? Okay, once again, guys, if you do have like projects you want me to look at, just go into our Discord, put it in our shill group, and I'll take a look at it. Cool. All right, great. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's webinar, our live stream actually, and I want to let you guys know that what we're doing at BuckBucks is very unique. I don't think I've seen anything in this market space, and me, I buy a lot of NFTs. And you can take a look at my wallets. I have more wallets other than that as well. And I buy a lot of NFTs. And I don't think I've seen, and so like the reason why I want to build this community like this is because there's nothing like it out there. There's nothing where you can hear the founders speak and talk about like, how to trade NFTs, where I'm helping you guys learn how to become better traders. We all start from somewhere, right? This NFT space is very, very new. I'm still learning every single day. I join Twitter Spaces and I learn on Twitter Spaces. I watch videos on YouTube, and I'm learning all about NFTs, and I'm learning about everything I can about NFTs and crypto in this space. And so the disconnect there is that there isn't really like a large community where you can gather and learn from A to Z. And that's what we're doing here at BuckBucks. If you guys want to know, we're also building a learning management system on here, an LMS, where you click the button and then it shows, take this course, take this course, take this course. And these are courses that we've developed inside. So that's what we're planning on doing here. Like if you guys also want to launch your own NFT projects, we plan on creating that course and that system as well. And also not only that, but also the support group to doing that. We're also planning on doing a launch pad where we would do joint ventures with other NFT projects and promote each other, right? As long as it's validated and it's vetted out and it's not a rug pull and it's not a scam, we won't promote anything that's a scam. We're also going to be doing a lot of things inside of our tokens community as well. We're gonna talk about trading. We're going to talk about charts. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, daily volumes. We're going to talk about everything, all those things. We've got people in place for that. That's going to be doing those things. So you guys are just seeing the surface of what's happening inside of BuckBuck NFTs. We have way more underneath the surface that we have not even launched yet. We haven't even told you guys about yet, but that's going to be launched like individually, one by one, as we progress our project. So I want you guys to get really excited because once again, I don't think you've ever seen anything like this in this space. I don't think I've seen anything like this in this space. And I've been in this space for quite a while. The only thing that I've seen for education is like you go on Twitter Spaces and you go on YouTube, but there's not really like one single space that does like, daily calls that does daily calls as in like training webinars like this and teaches people how to do NFTs. There's not another group out there that does alpha calls at the same time as well. That's planning on launching 4 different other NFT projects after this one so that we can bring in more people, more community into our group increase the floor price of the Genesis NFT, right? So I don't know any of the group that does that. So and yeah, so I consider myself lucky to be here with you guys and to be able to teach you guys all these things and to have a lot of fun with you guys. So let's all build a great community together. I know we can do this. I know we can have like really smart people, and the best type of members are the most educated members. The best type of members that we want in our community are the ones that are educated. So imagine if every single one of us are educated in this space. We know how to find NFTs. You guys are a lot better at finding NFTs. You guys are more aware, more woke in this space because there's a lot of scams out there, which I'm going to uncover for you guys as well. I think our best members are the most educated ones. Those are the ones that you guys right now that are jumping into these live streams and learning with us every single day. Yeah, absolutely. Cool, guys. So yeah, VPS says you can make money off any project as long as you follow the info we're given here. Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. I look at NFT as basically colorful stocks, penny stocks. Yeah, I did penny stocks too. I did really well with it. But I also did regular stocks too. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys had a lot of fun today. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. We're going to be doing another live stream tomorrow and one every single day up until launch. And so, you know, tell your friends about these live streams, let them know, let them learn more about this NFT space. And I'm going to be teaching you guys something new each and every single day. So tomorrow, I'm going to be going over my favorite NFT project and what I consider a clear winner and a clear unicorn as well. All right, guys, thank you guys so much. And I'll have a great day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I'll see you guys also on the Discord channel. Thanks a lot.